Hey, it's Chris with Life 180, and I'm here with Caleb Williams of Better Wealth Solutions and the author of The And Asset. And I guess what I want to ask you in this video, Caleb, is there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of opinions out there about why or why not life insurance, right? From a macro level, there's the pundits like Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. I always like to throw them into my videos.
I want to do a video without mentioning
I like to pick fights. I don't know what to tell you, because you got to throw stones, right? So but in all seriousness,
yeah.
What is it from a macro level that you think makes the biggest impact, or why should people take a serious look at life insurance as a solution to their financial challenges?
Right, and this is going to be a little bit different for you watching this.
Yeah.
One of the big things that we're taught to do in this business, if we believe in life insurance or IUL, whatever your product is, you're comparing the product and why it's better than a 401k, why it's better than the market, why it's better than real estate. Yeah. And the aha moment for me was like, we are wasting our time and energy. Yep. 100% wasting our breath trying to badmouth this product and saying this product is better, because at the end of the day, they're all products, and they will all let us down at a macro level if our hope and trust are in the product.
Right.
And so the epiphany that I had was life insurance. What I'm actually going to draw on your iPad.
Yep.
And what it's doing is not necessarily the solution. It's just the middle man to help us show up more powerfully in our life.
Yeah.
And that's why my book is called The And Asset. It's not called The Ultimate Investment, because that is you, and that's how you think.
Yeah.
It's called The And Asset, and it's this ultimate belief of saying no to this false choice of someday in the future and now in the present. And I want that to sink in.
Yeah.
We're saying no to what everyone's telling you. You either have to choose between something in the future or now in the present. If you're an entrepreneur, you're choosing now in the present, and you're giving up something for the future. Yep. Most of the people in America are deferring to an unknown future date and giving up total control. And we can do both if we understand what's going on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition over to the iPad, and I'm going to just write, and this is going to represent the individual watching this.
Yeah.
This is you, this could be me, this could be your family. And we start here because the reality is this: if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what the end result is, we're gonna stop there and figure that out, because nothing that Chris or I talk about will really matter.
Right.
So first of all, we get clarity on what that actually looks like, and then the second thing is we want to take $1 and give it more than one job. If you want to know the secret of why life insurance works, is we're giving $1 more than one job. The first thing that we need to look at is that dollar's growth potential is huge. And one of the things that we'll look at is we are playing a lifetime deal. So I'm going to write lifetime here, because the reality is so many people are playing a retirement game.
Yep.
They're saying my money can hopefully compound until I'm 65 or 70, but then what do? Then they take it out.
Yeah.
And if compound interest is quote unquote this eighth wonder of the world, if it's so amazing, why in the world would you kill the goose that's laying the golden egg?
Absolutely.
And so the first thing that we look at is $1 saved is not just worth $1, it's what that dollar could be worth the rest of your life. And we want to make sure that money will grow without taxes, losses, fees, and we're playing a conservative long-term game. So for our clients, for the people that you and I work with, they're going to get anywhere from 3 to 5% tax-free growth when set up and used properly. And no, that's not going to change your life.
Yeah.
It's a taxable equivalent to maybe a 4 to 8% rate of return.
Sure.
But we're playing a lifetime game, not just a retirement game. And just that one tweak alone, you're not losing money and you're playing a lifetime game versus a retirement game, this will outperform most investments. And again,
100%.
That's not why I'm making this video. I'm not saying this is better than a 401k or whatever. I'm just saying the reality is we're playing a lifetime game with no interruptions. That consistent long-term growth is huge. Now, if we just stop there, we're like everyone else. I'm saying my thing is better than yours. This is where life insurance wipes everyone off the table when set up and used properly. It's the same dollar we get to control and use. And you and I are come under the same belief that controlling capital, using money throughout your life, is your greatest financial need.
Amen.
If you're an entrepreneur, if you have the audacity to say that I am going to be going to business for myself, or I'm building a future, or I'm impacting people, and you're not investing in yourself,
right,
and you're diversifying your ability to impact, that just doesn't sit well.
No. It's incongruent.
It's incongruent.
Yeah.
And so what we do, and we'll have other videos that break this down, is instead of hurting the compound growth, we use what's called the controlled compounding strategy, which is essentially the ability to borrow against your savings that are continuing to grow.
Yeah.
I know that sounds jargony, but think about this. You could take your dollar out and it will no longer work for you, or your dollar could work for you the rest of your life, compounding, and you could borrow against that. And all you need to know at this point is it's the most efficient long term when your dollar can be doing two things rather than one. Okay, so we help people utilize capital throughout their life to hopefully invest in themselves or other assets, but their dollars are continuing to grow. And that I could stop this whole video, and that is really why the and asset is so powerful. Then we get deeper, and let's look at, I used to call this retirement, but the reality is, let's call this future cash flow. And one of the questions that we ask people is, what's the goal of climbing a mountain? And most people would say to get to the top. The problem is, if you get to the top and don't know how to get down safely, that's problematic.
You're in trouble.
That is not a good day. And how many people are accumulating money with no exit strategy? We see it all the time. And
almost everybody.
You get
frankly.
emails every week from people that are like, I've dedicated my life to X and I have no idea what I'm doing. And the reason why life insurance, when set up and used properly, is so powerful is it's an asset that doesn't lose value. And it's an asset, when set up and used properly, is tax-free. And those two things are powerful, and it has a permanent death benefit. And those three things are powerful whether you use the asset directly, whether you use it with an annuity, whether you use it with it's called a volatility buffer, whether you use it in the stock market. The reality is this, as an asset class, it helps you get more cash flow, regardless of what your strategy is, regardless of what your philosophy is.
It's an optimizer.
100%.
What it is. Yeah.
And so when clients get to see like, oh, I'm actually getting more cash, that's all you care about. Like, it doesn't matter what the asset itself is worth. It's what result do you want? If someone's coming to me and saying, I want more cash flow, we're gonna give them more cash flow. That's a result.
And to that point, like, just to kind of add to that, because it's triggering off in my brain right now to say something about this, is like, everybody's taught like you want to buy and hold and you want to have this long-term strategy. When people are invested in markets and traditional methodologies, you're giving up control of that money, which is a negative. But B, you're exposed to the volatility of the market. So when Caleb's talking about that future, most people have that future target date as retirement. Well, what happens if retirement comes at the wrong time for you in the downswing of a market? Like, you can't time that kind of stuff. Like, that's what I love about this is like, it's that compounded growth for lifetime, for your working days, your career, whatever, and then you're not going to ever be caught because of this strategy. You may choose to take some risks inside of this that may expose you, but like, this strategy is really
core.
The core foundation.
The foundation
that ultimately protects you and helps you accomplish what you're looking to accomplish.
100%. Now, if I just stop there, it's like, okay, your dollar gets to grow the rest of your life. You get control over it. It's going to help you show up powerfully in retirement. Awesome, but we're not even stopping there, because that same dollar, and this is why this picture is so important, is that same dollar is not only protecting you, but protecting your legacy. Think about that.
Big.
Like, what was that quote that is so powerful that we learned from Don Blanton? It's like, whether you live or not, you're going to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, life insurance is the only way to make sure what you want to happen will happen when you want it to happen, whether you're here to see it or not. I love it.
That's like a mic drop in itself. So what's the value of giving $1 more than one job? Giving $1 the ability to grow the rest of your life, giving that $1 the ability to control the rest of your life, giving that $1 the ability to create a future cash flow, protect you. But then also, man, this is where we're getting deeper.
Yeah.
And this is where I hopefully, like, the aha moments are coming off.
Yeah.
Is, can you not save more in this system? Like, I save a ton of money because I can control it.
Yeah.
So I'm saving money that's ultimately going to compound. Like, when people talk about infinite banking and all that stuff, what Nelson's talking about, the volume versus rate, like, he's talking about the idea is that if you save more money, like, we have a savings crisis on our hands.
Yeah.
And I believe America will be able to save more money if they utilize a strategy. And then the most important thing for me is this and asset ultimately allows you to be the number one asset in your life, and I really believe it changes the way that you think.
And I think that right there, being the number one asset in your life, when you position yourself as that, that's that moment where you're deciding you're not going to give the results in your life to somebody else, right? You're not going to allow somebody else to take credit or dictate the results that you're going to get in your life. That's when you're taking control of that. And I mean, there's really nothing more self-empowering and like I feel like when you make that decision and you have that realization, everything clicks, everything triggers.
And that's when we talked about like we serve people all around the country, and before it was all about like arguing with someone why this will outperform X. And when you understand where this is, I'm not saying that your investment strategy is bad. It may be, but the reality is whatever you're doing, this will just show you a better way to live your life and invest and do what you want to do. And in the context of knowing that this is the foundation, and real wealth and happiness and fulfillment is not just staying here, but doing something with it, that's when the aha moment happens for people.
That's awesome. So here's what I want to say. Like, if this sounds intriguing or interesting, or you know, it's just got your curiosity going about what it may or may not look like in your life, you can look down below in the description of the YouTube video here, and there's a link. It'll take you to a page where you can actually set up either a call, or you can dig a little deeper, do some more research, get a one-page report that Caleb's company has created the software for you to be able to do to see what this may look like for you in your life, actual practical implementation. And if you get on a call, like the goal is to get on a call, to answer your questions, to have somebody help you. And if you get on that call, Caleb wants to send you a free copy of his book, The And Asset. And I'm telling you right now, if you go through this book, it's a really fun, easy read. I promise you, if you get through 110 pages of this thing, I'm not kidding you, it will change the way that you view your personal financial structure and what you're doing in your life. I've yet to have somebody read this book and not come back and say, this is completely changed the way I'm viewing my personal finances, and they get it. You know,
that's awesome, man.
And so it's fantastic. So go ahead, click the link, go to that page if you want. Make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell, make sure you're notified every single time we launch a new video if you find this information helpful, beneficial to you. And we'll see you on the next video.